Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here again for August astrological transit video. Um, let's just get right into it. Before I do that, let me just say, hopefully July was good to you. The last week is a lot to end it off with. The retrogrades and all of that energy. July was a really big month energetically for me personally. I don't know how everyone else was dealing with it, but it felt like there was a lot going on. Positive shifts for sure, but still just a lot of energy. With all of that in mind, let's look at what August is gonna bring in and has in store for us. Starting with August 3rd, Chiron will be retrograding in Taurus. So let's talk about the dates here, because usually when a planet retrogrades, depending on where it is in that sign, it might leave that sign entirely and go to the previous one, which is what's happening here with Chiron. So from the 3rd of August to the 17th of September, it will be moving backwards through Taurus. And then from the 17th of September to the 6th of January in 2027, it will be in the sign of Aries. So this retrograde is going to be a real review. Like, this is really going back. So Chiron recently moved into Taurus. And so what's happening here is we're slowly going back over a little bit of progress that we've had so far in that second house energy, which is your self-worth. This is your stability. This is the sense of comfort that you hold. And we're reviewing the little bit of time that we've had with that energy, and then all the way through the end of the year and into the beginning of next year, we are going back into that first house energy. That is your sense of self. This is the energy that people read off of you. This is your appearance. This is all of those things inside of you that say, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm about. We're looking back at, where there may be some wounding around your perception, that maybe people misinterpreted who you were a lot. We're going to be going through that. And at the same time, Saturn is going to be retrograde in the first house. And so Saturn is all about reviewing and slowing down and getting things right. So that first house energy is going to really combine at the end of September, that second half of September into the end of the year. So let's pay attention to where our head's at with that energy. Chiron is difficult, but it doesn't have to be difficult. You have plenty of time to work with the energy in Taurus and really sit with all of your feelings about charging what you're worth and standing up for what you believe you deserve. That's what's really going to be important there. Moving on to August 6th, Venus will be moving into Libra. Venus rules Libra, so it's going to be a good time there. That is your 7th house. That is partnerships, romantic, professional, just friendship, all of that. It's ruling the partnership aspect of your life. It is also about like commitments and signing contracts and like legal things. So that is going to be coming up. There's going to be like a lot of a positivity around those interactions. It could also, on the shadow side, lead to a lack of willpower. Like, you could be swiping that card a lot. You know what I mean? Because of course you're just like really, you're going to be in an uplifted mood. But on the upside, this could mean, if you are in the early stages of a relationship with someone, it could mean a deeper commitment, or it could mean you are on the way to finding someone that you want to develop a partnership with. And again, romantic, professional, just friendships. This could be you connecting with someone on a soul level that really feels aligned and like you're going to be like that. On August 9th, Mercury will be moving into Leo. This is going to be a time where mind of a child. Leo is the fifth house. So that is your inner child, children in general, pleasure seeking, just the light-hearted energy that Leo brings into everything. And pairing that with the mind, communication, that aspect of Mercury, your words are going to flow a lot better. You're going to find yourself, if you're a writer, this is going to be your time to shine because you're going to get ideas. And once you sit down to execute those ideas, start to finish, you are going to flow. It will also lead to a little bit of like a truth serum kind of vibe because everyone knows kids are honest and like Leo is all about that childlike energy, and so there will be a little bit of maybe you just saying thinking something and then saying it. That could be good or bad depending on where your head is at. On August 11th, Mars will be moving into Cancer. That can be difficult. I will say the positive aspect is that if there is something going on with like your family members, your home, or just your that root chakra energy, like your home base, anything around that, you're not going to play. You're going to be taking it seriously. So if there's something that comes up around your home energy or your family members or like people that are really close to your heart, you're going to defend that. On the shadow side of it, there is going to be a little bit of like that manipulation, a little bit of hypersensitivity, and like a little tendency towards being passive aggressive. So do keep an eye towards that energy. Um, yeah, Cancer is your fourth house. So look at what's sitting in your fourth house and see how that's going to play with that Cancer energy as well. On August 12th, we will have the first eclipse on the new lunar node axis. So we will be having that full moon in Aquarius, and so that was like a preview. It wasn't an eclipse or anything, but it's still like that first brush with the Leo Aquarius axis. And now with this new moon, this is going to be a solar eclipse. So this is the first brush fully in the energy of this new North Node, South Node axis energy. And with it being Leo, that is just multiplying everything because Leo is big energy. Leo is all about, again, we've talked about it before. This is your inner child. This is children. This is pleasure. This is joy. This is creativity. And so, again, if you are in anything that is related to creativity, if you're a writer, an artist, you do anything at all in that field, this is going to be a time where things just take off for you. This would be a good time to write down whatever ideas come into your head because they're going to come back later. If you can't work on it right away, get it down. Take a note of it. It's going to come back later and you're going to want to have, this is the time to really start building whatever you're working on. And of course, with the eclipses, you feel those for months out past the point. So don't feel any pressure to get it all done on that day because you're going to have time. But that's why I'm saying get those initial ideas down because you'll have time throughout that energy from the eclipse to work on it and get it done. August 15th, we will have Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Leo. This is going to feel like, that's fifth house. We talked about that. This is shifting your conversations. This is going to be fated conversations. This is going to be conversations and ideas that shift whatever you're currently working on and make them bigger. Jupiter likes to expand whatever is there, so focus on the positive aspects of that Leo energy. Pay attention to where you have Mercury and Jupiter, what signs and what houses, to really tune into what it's going to mean for you personally. And that will give you a clue into how to direct the energy. Think of this transit as like a laser beam, and you have the opportunity to look at the map to point it in the right direction. On August 22nd, it's Virgo season. That's just letting you guys know. Virgo season. That is sixth house energy. That is your daily routines. This is physical health and wellness. So maybe you decide now is the time to start eating healthier or start going for regular walks or whatever it is, moving your body in new ways. It also relates to service and helping others, which aligns really well with Aquarius energy. We love Virgos here. I am a Virgo. You know me. August 25th, Mercury is moving into Virgo. This is positive. Mercury rules Virgo, so there's always that alignment there. This means a more refined approach to your thoughts and your words versus that explosive energy of Leo. We're fine tuning. So, as I said, when Mercury is in Leo and we have that conjunction and all of that energy building up there, that's where the ideas come from. And then it slides into the Virgo energy of, okay, how do we make this work? How do we ground it? How do we make it practical to where it can actually become something? This is the ultimate planning phase for anything that you have going on. And it is also a really good time if there is a conversation that you feel like you need to have with someone, that would be the time to have it. Although, caveat, the shadow side of Virgo is that there is a sharpness and a tendency towards being overly critical. So, if that conversation that you are going to have is about how someone isn't meeting your expectations or they're falling short of something, just be mindful of that approach. August 27th, we will have a Mercury Kazemi, which is when Mercury meets the Sun. So, it's in Virgo. The Sun puts a spotlight on these energies and it can intensify them in a way, good or bad, depending on how you approach that. As I said, speaking about Mercury moving into Virgo and that potential to be a little too sharp and a little too critical and a little too mean, be mindful of the approach. This could be an opportunity where you say everything perfectly and you say exactly the right thing, but it could also be the time where you say something and it comes off in a way that isn't received well. Be mindful of your approaches. August 28th, which is our last transit of this month that I'm sharing with you guys, is a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Yeah. So, with that, we have this energy of dreams are going to be a little weird. You might have difficulty communicating properly, as I am right now. But again, this is big energy. It's always going to be positive if you approach it in a way that will make it positive. And of course, this is all going to come down to where Pisces is hitting you and where that full moon is hitting you. And again, the energy is going to be around for months after this. So really sit down, do some journaling, and if you don't already record your dreams, start recording them. Something's going to come up in your dreams and it's going to be important. That is something that I have noticed, especially with like the full moon energy. it's hard to sleep, but when I do fall asleep, my dreams are always like wild. And with the Pisces energy, it's just gonna amplify whatever's coming through in it. That's what I have for August. I am currently working on, this is just me sharing things because I have time and it doesn't really fit in any of the other videos, so we're gonna do it here. I am currently working on a revamp for the Glamour Astro Tarot journal that I created, and I will be hopefully having that available. I'm working on my Etsy shop, so I'll be able to put it up on Etsy if you would like to get it there, and you can print your own. I have to show you guys. So I didn't do a full flip through because it's I don't actually have it to do the full flip through, but like 6 months of using this bad boy, and I can say I found ways to tweak it and ways to improve on some of the spreads to make them a little better to work with. And I have, the spreads. And I have lots of ideas for how to improve on the layouts and things. And so that will be available probably by September. I'm going to do a little more work on it, really fine tune it, and then I will let you guys know when that will be available. Probably before my birthday. We'll see. I'm also working on several other different planners and journals and things like that for different needs. Like a dream journal, I have a multi hyphenated individual friendly journal that will help collate all of your various interests to try to keep you on track for whatever projects you have going on. If you're like me and you are doing 18,000 things at all times because you love a hobby and a handicraft. Anyway, keep your eyes open for that. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Thank you guys for sitting with me. I hope that you will have a wonderful month of August, and I hope that you will ride all of the waves of these transits to the best of your ability. And I hope that you have, the opportunity to integrate everything that happened in July, because July was a lot. I said that at the beginning. It was a lot. I hope that you will be well. I hope that you will continue to be kind to yourselves and to one another. And I will see you in the next video.